Hi, I'm Sandy Staub. I'm the owner of Lifewater Ranch, and I wanted to make a video that would explain more what you have here, maybe a video tour of the website. This is our website, lifewaterranch.com. And what I'm doing is I'm renting out my house. Uh, I I have a beautiful 160-acre ranch in the hills between Kooskia, Idaho, and Clearwater, Idaho, and it's a very remote place. Yet it's not that hard to get to once you find it. You don't need any special vehicles or anything like that. And I love to share what I have. I have a very unique and wonderful place, and I love being here, and I want to live here the rest of my life. But I don't want to just be here alone and hoard it all to myself. I think many families would get a lot out of this place. I think many people could use this place for many things, and so I see it as a financially lucrative way to make some money as I am retired and I've run out of money due to poor investments and nightmare things, and I'm too old to get a job. It's getting too difficult to get back into the workplace, and it costs a lot more to do that. I can actually live here very cheaply. I have two houses on the property. One currently is rented out to a renter slash caretaker. He's a farmer. They're the name of the Kindreds, Mickey Kindred, and they raise chickens and pork and beef and milk and things like that, and lots of eggs. And that's how they make a living here, and they enjoy this place as much as I do. And they're in a house I custom built for my wife and I to retire in. But my wife has since left me, and I'm stuck here alone. And the eventual goal is, once this business takes off enough to cover all my expenses and I don't need to rent the second house out, the Kindreds will move on to their own place, and I will live there and be a full-time caretaker at this ranch with the main house. Um, I've wanted to do this for many years. I was worked for Microsoft for many years. I was worth a lot of money when I bought this place, and I never had to make this a business. But still loved having people over. But it's remote. It was hard to get people out here to see this place, um, and so I never really much had many guests. But when my wife left me, I began to think I gotta make some money somewhere. I have to support my wife, among other things. So I decided to start renting this out on Verbo, and then I use a few other ways to get people here. But the best way for you to sign up and stay here is through my website directly, because we don't have a middleman. It costs less. Any service you go through is going to have their own fees, their own insurance policies, their own limitations. I'm pretty flexible, and I'm there to make it work for you, and I don't mind doing things different or special for someone or whatever. We just had a wedding here a month ago, and that was really fun and went really well. And my goal is to provide a really nice quality setting for a really reasonable price, so that average people can enjoy this place. The wealthy can do this kind of stuff anytime, but the average person can't. And I would like to make it possible for them to enjoy this. So Lifewater Ranch came to be. I bought it in 1999 for Y2K as a contingency with a small percentage of my fortune, and it was no big deal back then. And I souped up the house for energy independence. So I have my own gas station here. I have buried tanks of diesel and propane, and I have hydropower and solar power, um, and so those things allow me to live here very cheaply. I can't live in the city nearly as cheap. I pay a power bill, and that's it. I have my own water, I have my own septic, I have and very good water at that. That's another reason I bought this place. Was it's one of the best places in the area as far as water quality goes. It's in a draw that gathers a lot of water from state-owned land and a few ranches above me, but it's just no pollution at all, and the water comes right out of the ground just above my property, which is the headwaters of a little creek called Cedar Creek, which goes into Clear Creek, which goes into the Clearwater River. And So it is literally the headwaters of the Clearwater River, and the water is pristine. I don't drink directly out of the streams, but you probably could. I mean, you probably could. I have a couple wells, and they're abundant and they're great, and the water is just so high quality. Um, so uh, let's go through some of the features here. What we got. I mean, um, let me go into our pictures here. Um, we have a page here that, and I'm on a slow network connection. If you want to come on here and do massive internet stuff, you're going to be disappointed. I'm on satellite. I only have so much. So let's start with the house here. I have pictures of the bottom of the house, inside, and so on. So there's one large house. It's about 3,600 square feet, and it's right here. Behind it is a shop, and then here's our swimming pool, solar heated. Here's our woodshed and slash barn. This is my gas station here for my own gasoline. Um, and so we have 3 stories. We have basement, regular living room area, and we have an upstairs in the back with 3 bedrooms. The 3 bedrooms on this side is a girl's room. On this side, in the middle, is a guest room with 2 beds, and on this side is kind of a boys' room where we have a library and a pair of bunk beds. I really want to improve those to make them a little more flexible because some adults don't want to have to climb on top of a bunk, and I would like to make that a little better. Um, so they're just modest bedrooms, very simple and roomy, and places for guests. And then the basement is a finished basement with a lot of toys in there. I have a pool table down there, and I have a nice king size bed, a very comfortable bed. It's perfect for a small family or a couple that want to stay down there. You can close the door at the top, and I have a little do not disturb sign, and you have your own private little apartment. You can stay there while I'm here or while other people are upstairs, and the basement is nice. And then the main room, there's a master bedroom on this side where I normally sleep when I'm here, but when I'm not, guests can use that, and that has another king size bed. And then that's all there is on the main floor as far as bedrooms go. On this side is the kitchen and a dining room, and then this large area is a living room that's got these beautiful windows for views of the pond and the forest, and it's just a lovely situation for gathering and playing. There's a lot of games I have in the closet. You can sit there and play games and whatever. So it's a great place for kids, for toddlers, for adults, for meetings, for parties, for weddings, whatever. It's a very roomy room. And there's similar kind of meeting space in the basement, but not quite as large. But the basement features a nice entertainment center. So here's the swimming pool and different seasons. We have a nice hot tub. But this is the basement bedroom bed, king size bed. It's actually the most comfortable bed in the house. It's a very nice firm mattress that if I can't sleep in my bed, I sleep down here, but it's pretty rare. But it's a really, really comfortable bed. We also have a fold-out futon in the basement that you can use for an extra person. So, and we also have a bunch of mattresses and stuff, extra mattresses that didn't work out for me for king size, but you can put them on the floor. You can have, a dozen kids sitting on the floor here. The floor is all carpeted. It's very comfortable, and the basement is kind of on the cool side of the house, but especially in the summers, it's a very cool place to hang out and get out of the heat. I have kind of some interesting decor here. I got a couple deer heads that I picked up, and then this is the pool table. You don't see much of here, but it's a tournament grade antique, the 1912 pool table that I bought and had refurbished and placed here, and it ain't gonna move. But it's excellent play. It's much better than a lot of places you'd go, where there's a bar and a coin op table. It's a much nicer table. So you could bring your pool cue and do some serious pool on this table. It's not state of the art Brunswick tournament grade, but it's very close to that. So it's a nice table. And then here's this is the middle upstairs bedroom, the guest room, just 2 simple beds and a simple dresser, nothing fancy. Here's shots of the kitchen. We have a nice bar here and storage for most of our nicer glassware, and then this is kind of a panorama, 3 shots of the refrigerator, and then all our All the cabinets are labeled so you can find stuff quickly. And then this is the kitchen sink over here, which wraps then comes to here. And then you'd have the dining room to the right of this picture. Over here is the boys' room. This is the bunk bed. I think what I want to do is split this bunk bed to where the top can be lifted off and made a separate bed on the side, so adults can use it a little easier. It's compact, but it's not as flexible as I'd like it to be. But it's great for a couple boys or kids, and you can put more mattresses on the floor, and so you could have a bunch of boys or little kids in here having a great time. And we have books in the library. The wall that faces the where I'm opposite my back, as you look at this, it's behind you, is a wall of extensive books that I've read over time. A lot of them are on law or on medicine or on marriage or on biblical ideas. And then there's a section for kids. There's lots of comic books and kids books for kids to read. Here's a duplicate of the bed downstairs. I gotta fix that. This is another shot of the middle bedroom. And then this is the master bedroom on the main floor where I normally sleep. And this bed is not quite as comfortable. I got a mattress that turned out to be a little soft, so it's not as comfortable as the basement one. But it's comfortable. You can get used to it. And I'm going to try, and when I get some cash, I'm going to improve this and make this as good as the basement one. And this is our entertainment center down in the basement. We have a 65-inch flat screen. We're hooked to a computer, which is in this cabinet down here. We have lots of videos that you can just put in. The computer also has lots of videos downloaded from YouTube, and also ripped videos that I was able to rip from the original DVD. So you don't have, there's several movies and stuff just built into the computer. And it's a little, there's a mouse there, and there's a keyboard in the cabinet, and there's a remote control to turn on the TV. It's a little involved. I can teach you how to use it. It's not hard. You just have to turn a few buttons on and click, and you can watch movies and stuff. You can also, of course, attach your PlayStation and play videos. A lot of kids do that. A lot of teenagers end up spending their whole time playing video games, which is a tragic waste of a beautiful place. But that's what they want to do while the other kids and the parents are taking a break. That's fine. It keeps your teenagers busy and out of trouble. So those are some of the pictures of the inside of the house that give you an idea there. Now the property is 160 acres, and we have a whole variety of different types of land. So let me just go over the pictures. That'll help me orient you to what we have here. So we just recently put in a 50-foot swing. This is a little girl in the swing. It's hard to see in this picture. It's hard to show a 50-foot swing. It's so tall. But I just made a special seat for toddlers. You can put a pair of toddlers in there or a single toddler in there and push them. And a 50-foot swing is very cool. It's very different. It's not like a regular swing, and you just flow. And there's a tree here that actually is right in the line of the swing, but you can't even get high enough to hit that thing. It's so hard to pump yourself up. If you get pushed, you could touch the tree and then maybe even keep yourself going by pushing off the tree. That's something for teenagers. You got teenagers that need to get energy out. Just tell them, hey, play the swing and see if you can touch the tree, and they will wear themselves out trying to touch that tree. And it's just fun. It's fun for adults. It's a comfortable swing. I have several different kinds of seats for it, for comfort and adults or kids. So it works very well. It's very flexible. You can adjust the height and all that kind of stuff. That was a recent addition. The beginning of a lot of additions I want to put on. I want to put in zip lines. I want to put in a kind of a Tarzan hand over hand thing on my biggest pond. But those are going to take time to build. And money is tight, so I'm going to have to wait till I build up more customers to be able to pay for those things. But lots of advancements. I just actually also built the beginnings of a huge frisbee golf course that starts right near this area. And of course it involves a lot of cleanup of the forest and helps me fire mitigate by making it. But eventually, I want to have like 100 holes. It'll take you over the whole 160 acres, and it would take you all day, or maybe a couple days to get through it. And I think it'd be really fun because you'd be seeing the whole property, which has got many beautiful areas and vistas and different kinds of flora and fauna, and you just naturally see it by playing frisbee. Um, I'm a chess coach also on the side. That's something I've always had a passion for chess my whole life. And so this is a shot of me and some guests that were staying with me, and I was teaching their kids how to play chess. I'd be glad to do that for you, no charge. I love to do it. This is Siamese. It's a game where you have four people playing it simultaneously, and the two games are linked, and it's actually very fast paced because we use clocks, and kids love it. Kids love this kind of game, and it builds their minds, and it's a fun way to go. Here's a bunch of us having dinner together. We actually did a podcast here with Ben Greenfield, and this is Ben Greenfield here, and this is Christopher Clouch, who's a professional fisherman and a chef. And so these two were kind of, Chris was kind of getting Ben, who's a celebrity life coach, health hacker type guy. These two are relatively famous people, and they were staying, and we did a podcast. I brought several of my friends over, and we had an excellent meal by Chris, and we can do that for guests too. We can hire local chefs that make excellent meals, and you say what you want. There's a cost to it, but it's going to be no more than going to a nice restaurant. But for many people, it's actually been a lot cheaper though, probably than a nice restaurant, and you're going to get top-notch food and service if you want to go that way, or you just make your own stuff and make it casual. But this is the main dining room table, and where people can sit in the dining room. This was Ben catching some fish. This wasn't caught at the ranch. This is caught on the near the Clearwater River, which is world-class fishing. If you know your seasons and you get here at the right time, like early spring and fall, there's runs of salmon and steelhead, and the fishing is excellent. So I myself am not much of a fisherman. I'm not into all the regulations and garbage and cost of doing it. I sometimes buy some salmon from the Indians, and I'll sometimes have that available for guests, which is excellent, top-notch salmon, very healthy, probably the healthiest you can find in the world. And so fishermen would enjoy this place. I have fish in my ponds, but they've been stocked a couple years ago, and I have heron that constantly clean them out. It's pretty hard to keep fish in my ponds for very long. So there are lunker trout in there that are going to be difficult to catch because they're used to avoiding all the predators here. But it is challenging, and you can just fish with your kids on the pond, and you can just practice. Here they were practicing their casting and learning fly fishing on the ponds with Christopher Clouch teaching Ben's two sons there. So that's a great thing to do. And I have 9 ponds on the property, 9 large ponds on the property, and they're all pretty nice and different kinds of look. Here's one of the girls digging for worms for fishing. I also have currently I have 3 Scottish Highlander cattle, which are very furry, cute cattle, and they're also very gentle, and they're pretty tough cattle. They don't make money like a Hereford or a Angus, but they grow slower, but they are hardy animals, and they're very safe, and they're very tame. So kids can feed them. I have treats that kids can use and feed them through the fence or from our truck or from your car, and they love the alfalfa treats, and kids just get a blast. And we have a mama and a papa and a little baby. Little baby's getting bigger, and we also have a few other cattle sometimes that are grazing my property just to graze. In the fall, we have an orchard of apples, mostly apples. We have a few pears and 1 quince, and we press our own apples and make apple cider, which I drink through the winter and I give to guests and stuff. It's pure, organic, raw, good stuff, amazing stuff. Apple cider is one of nature's best healthy drinks. Way better for you than a lot of these energy drinks, and you can ferment them a little bit, and you can get a little bit of a bubbly, fizzy flavor to it, and it's just wonderful stuff. And of course, it never makes it through the winter. It's usually gone within a few months. But if you want to be here in the fall, you can help me press them, and it's a fun thing to do for a family. We have a hot tub I bought that to basically allow for swimming activities year round because I wanted to make this place useful all season in all seasons. The hot tub's right next to the swimming pool, and the swimming pool is solar heated. So in the summer, it's very hard to keep the pool cool enough. But we've got it comfortable. It's not bath water, but it's cool. And in the summer, the hot tub is almost redundant. But at night, looking at the stars from the hot tub, you can turn all the lights off. There's no lights visible beyond the house, so you have very little light contamination. We actually put a little cover over this control panel because that's too bright, and you can see the Milky Way and thousands of stars and shooting stars, especially in August. It's an excellent place to just kick back and watch the stars at night. And of course, I also have music. Now, these are special speakers I put around the hot tub. I don't use them anymore because it turns out that we put a couple speakers on the shop next to this, and it's fine for most people. People aren't. I'm kind of an audiophile, and I wanted to get really good sound, surround sound. But technical difficulties with all the water and everything has made this system hard to be reliable, so I don't use it much anymore. But it's something that could be set up. But watching the stars with your favorite music playing, I have a computer hooked up to it. You can take an MP3, you know, drive and just throw it in there with your favorite MP3 songs and play away. I have a huge collection of music I've collected over time, and I am a pretty diverse musical person, so I have a lot of diverse different styles and stuff of music, so you'll probably find something you like. And I compose my own music, which I'll go over a little bit later, and I have lots of my own compositions there as well. So this is a beautiful just moonrise. You get some really interesting sunsets and sunrises. We have a lookout point. I don't have a good shot of it here, but which has a beautiful view looking west, and you can watch your sunsets. There's a nice little bench up there, and you and your spouse or friend or whatever can sit and enjoy a beautiful sunset. And this place has many, and they're diverse. They're different every day, and the seasons all have beauty. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. They're all different, but they're all beautiful here. This is a nice swing we have right near the house. You can just relax and look at the forest and enjoy the outdoor, the sun. The pool has and we have a couple nice chairs there that are fun to lay back on. The pool's relatively small, and it's about 6 feet deep, flat all the way along. So it's great for something like volleyball. I got to get a net that we'll put across here. I used to do it. I haven't done it in a while, but set up a net to put across here, and then you can play volleyball in the water with a 6 foot deep. It's very good exercise, and because you have to tread water a little bit because it's a little too deep to stand, but the bottom's right there if you need to jump up, and so it's kind of fun to play that kind of thing. And it's great for kids, and we play Marco Polo and all. It's just the perfect size for Marco Polo. It's not so big that you can never tag the person, but it's not so small that they can't get away. So we have a shelf on here. We used to have a rope that went in the water to help protect toddlers, but since we got a liner, which was much cheaper to maintain, we don't have a way to put a rope there anymore. But the shelf is about a foot deep, and it goes out about 4 feet from the edge. Great place for kids to learn how to swim. Adults can sit on the shelf and watch their kids, and so it's a pretty safe pool, and it's fun and simple. Here's a better shot of the pool table. It's definitely a nice pool table. It's got what's called speed felt on it, so it plays very well. You can get great slop shots on it if you're not great. And I play a great game called Beat the Table. So everybody works together to beat the table, and it's not competitive, and you can have a lot of fun. And any number of people can play, and you can add and subtract people as you play. It's a great game. I can teach you how to play. We used to have moose on the property. We haven't seen them in many years because of wolves. Wolves came into the property from Canada, brought in for political reasons, and we no longer have moose on the property, unfortunately. We used to have a mama with her 2 babies that would come out every fall, and somewhere around 2005, wolves came and they disappeared, and we haven't seen them since. They might come back someday if they get rid of the wolves, but that's how far out in the wilderness we are. We got several bird feeders and stuff. I love birds, and we have birds all around, hummingbirds, and this is for little chickadees. And then we have another feeder for yellow finches, and it's great. This is kind of a goofy picture I made that shows one of our ponds and the technical stuff I have. And that's kind of what I'm trying to show here, is that this ranch has everything from low end to high tech. It's just you can go out and camp in the wilderness and be as rugged and muddy and dirty as you want to get. You can wear yourself out on the property because it's got lots of hiking, and you can swim and run and whatever, dirt bike, a mountain bike, motorbike, whatever. You can do a lot of stuff on the property, and then you can come in and watch a movie or play computer or whatever. So it's got a lot of that flexibility. We get lots of deer coming through. This was just a shot one evening. We had a dozen deer, and they always come through in the summertime, and you'll see them just about year round. And if you wanted, you could probably pick one off of the deck, and just shoot it. But and so we do have hunting is a good time here in the fall. I don't generally allow people to hunt on the property. I kind of look at it as a wildlife refuge, but I could be talked into giving you, if you have a tag and you want to take a deer out. You won't find the best deer and the biggest elk on this property, but there are deer and elk on here, and you could get a good one. But you're probably better off if you're a big game hunter and you want to get the best. You'd probably hunt somewhere else, but you could stay at the ranch and you'd be relatively close to your hunting grounds, and could efficiently, relax in the hot tub after a long day of hunting. This is Ernie, our little calf, Scottish Highlander calf. This is when he was first born. He's a little bigger now, but he's a cutie. We do in the spring and fall, a lot of times we'll get rains and we'll get beautiful rainbows, lightning storms sometimes. The weather is always interesting, and we're in kind of we're in a draw that has what's known as a temporal vortex on the neighboring property, and it affects the whole microclimate of the area. So we are a little more temperate than anywhere else. We don't get quite as hot as everybody else, and we don't get quite as much snow and cold and wind as everybody else, but it kind of moderates the area. And I have a article on the website on the vortex. You might look it up. It's kind of interesting. But it was discovered by dowsers looking for wells, and there's a definite energy signature coming near this property, and it makes it very unique, I think. This is a typical sunrise morning with mist coming off the forest, looking to the west, and it's even in the winter, this place is breathtaking. Here's our terraced garden. My goal is at some point, my original goal was to make this a health retreat, and I wanted to grow organic vegetables and serve all those things, but it's a very large hassle. It's hard to grow a garden. I have what are called woofers that come through the year, and they help me with the garden. And this spring we had no woofers, so we didn't really plant a garden. I have volunteer plants coming up, and I'm working on getting more perennials rather than trying to do vegetable gardens, although I still want to have a vegetable garden. But the terrace is a nice place close to the house that makes it pretty easy to do gardening. So we got that available. I use no-till with chips from the Back to Eden video, if you want to look that up on YouTube. It's a very effective way of lazily growing really good food. And this propane tank has since been removed, so we have that eyesore out of the way, and it's just a nice little garden. And we used to have some Pyrenees, a whole pack of Pyrenees dogs here for the winter, but there's usually a few pets here. There's the swing again, and then this is a beautiful shot of one of our ponds on a spring day, early spring, probably May, April. And the mists and the light coming in, and it literally does look like this sometimes in the mornings on our ponds. It's an absolutely breathtaking place. It's just some of our trees in the sky. This is another pond, and I haven't had the money to really clean the ponds up, so they're not real good for swimming. They have a lot of debris in them and plants and stuff, but they're refreshing. They're cool. And the one in front of the house is spring fed and is probably the best for swimming. But the pool is definitely better for swimming and much cleaner and easier. And the temperature is usually pretty close to comfy, not freezing. Here's a winter day looking at the forest. We have herbs. This is some yarrow. We have a lot of herbs growing on the property, a whole variety of them, because we have different climates too. We have areas that tend to be dry and rocky, and other areas that are always moist and never dry out because of the springs that we have coming out of the mountain. And so we get some very delicate plants. This is trillium. I believe it doesn't bloom till it's 14 years old. It's very rare and herb. And we have teasel here, just interesting herbs if you're into herbs. And we have, of course, lots of berry bushes in the fall. You can pick berries and rose hips and eat those, and they're great. This is our biggest pond called Island Pond, and it has island in the middle where we were hoping that ducks would settle, but they haven't settled there for some reason. But it's the biggest pond, and it's pretty beautiful. It's up in the upper area. It's a little hard to get to, but it's a beautiful area. And this is our nursery where we start our gardens. And then this, of course, the big picture, which I've shown you otherwise. And yeah, so that's our pictures in the property. Now let's talk a little bit about rates. If you're going to stay here, we put our rates here, and so we have the whole enchilada. Basically, you get the whole main house to yourself. I might be on the property, staying overnight elsewhere, or maybe at the rental house, and I might be working the property, but I'll be out of your sight most of the time. I might be in the shop. A lot of times I'll be out thinning trees, and there's just an infinite amount of work here to do. And I like working outside. That's one reason I bought this place for my retirement. So the full rental, these are current prices. They will likely go up as demand goes up once I get this business going. And there's ways to get some discounts, which we'll go into a little later. I got share with owner, so if you let me stay in the house, I'll pretty much keep to the master bedroom. I can share meals with you, however you want to do that. And I'm there to, I can help you find things, or if you need anything, I can set that up. I can be a full service host, or I can just be a stranger that you hardly see, whatever you want to do. But you get a significant discount. You save $100 a night, basically, for letting me stay in the house, because it reduces my hassle and cost. So people that don't mind having somebody else around and want to talk to them, and of course I can show you the cool movies I have or books, and show you my Vibe machine or whatever, and get you into a lot of cool stuff you might not do if you just had the house to yourself, and you'll save money. We have one RV site with full electricity, water, and sewage hookup, and there's the prices we have. Weekends are a little more expensive, and these prices will change, but this page is going to give you the numbers, the latest numbers. And then we have camping. We have lots of campsites on the property, and I'm not much of a camper now. I'm too old for it, but that's the cheapest way to stay. We don't have bathrooms set up in the property. You'd have to dig a hole, or you'd have to come down. There's a bathroom in the shop you could use, even if we had the house rented out. So it's a lot more rough. You'd have to figure out how to cook your own food and bring your own stuff in, but you could use our water. You can use our bathroom in the shop as a camper. If we have a lot of campers, that could be logistically difficult, but it's only $8 a night. It's a very cheap way to enjoy the place. And we also have woofers come. So when we're in our off season and nobody's renting, there's a site called woofusa.org, WWOOFUSA.org, and they basically have a setup where people can come and stay at the ranch, and they stay as guests in our bedrooms and live like any paying guest would, but it doesn't cost them anything except 4 hours of labor a day. So we exchange labor for food, and I give my woofers a day off each week. as well. So several woofers have been here and really enjoyed it. Some are, love the hot tub or whatever, and they do their 4 hours of work and then they kick back, and it's almost like a free vacation. But woofers take lower priority than paying guests. So if the house is taken by a guest, woofer's going to have to camp. So that's the way that would work. Now we have security deposits, and I've tried to keep it low, so it's only $500 deposit. That's hopefully everyone will behave themselves, and I won't have to raise it. There's potentially tens of thousands of dollars of damage someone could do to this place because of the pool table, the computers I have, various things. A malicious guest could cost me so much money, and this $500 doesn't begin to cover it. It's just an incentive to have people not misplace or lose stuff and take care of the place. You treat it like your own place, and it's great. That's what I'm hoping everyone will be doing. Otherwise, I couldn't do this. Now, if you won't go through Verbo, I'm going to have $1 million of insurance through Verbo, but you'll have to pay for it. You'll probably pay, I think, like $90 they're going to charge you for the insurance. So when you go directly by me, you have a security deposit. I expect it paid in cash or ahead of time, up front, and then I will return it to you within 2 weeks after you leave, when I've had a chance to inspect the place and find out what's missing. And that could be very difficult to do when we have back-to-back guests. We'll see. If things get very busy, I'm not sure how I'll sustain that. There's a $200 minimum deposit needed toward your rent, is to reserve your time. So when you go to the calendar page and you see where it's available, and you sign up to reserve, send us $200 and we'll lock you in. Nobody else can take that spot from you. Until then, it's just tentative, and we'll mark it on the calendar as tentative, but someone else could take that slot from you if you don't pay the holding fee, and that is non-refundable. So if you cancel, you lose the $200. And that's for anybody using the house. For camping, of course, there wouldn't be a deposit. I think for using the RV as well, we'd charge that, because to hold it, we just need someone with commitment. And then there are discounts. We have a referral program, and we'll go into that in a little bit. And then we have how I pay. I don't process credit cards yet. I did try that, and the costs were ridiculous, and I haven't found a really good way to do that for convenience. So I use PayPal. So it's easy enough for anybody to make a PayPal account, and you can pay me through PayPal ahead of time. And the nice thing is, it's flexible. If you want an extra service and I need a little extra money, you just go online and pay me that way instead of having to carry a lot of cash around. So PayPal is the way to go, or cash is the way I accept payments. So we have terms, and there's a bunch of details here and stuff, and then there's rules, and we have guest contracts, which when you click here, you'll go to another page that shows you, discusses our big contest. We have a waiver. We need every guest to sign a waiver, because this is a litigious society and everybody sues everybody, and I have to protect myself. I hate the hassle. It's a real hassle, especially if you have guests trickling in through the week and I'm not here because you're renting the whole house. I don't even know how to manage this with guests in that situation. The waiver, I need a waiver from everyone. I need it before they get here, and it's before they stay. And yet, when you're renting the whole house and I'm trying to give you your privacy, it's hard to manage that. And so I trust people more than I probably should. We have a pet addendum, just so it's clear. We might have pets. We currently just have a cat. We used to have a dog. He died recently. But we don't mind having pets, but of course we have to keep the poop and the hair and the junk out of the house, so it's hard enough to keep clean as it is. And then we've got the rental rules, just a sheet of how to conduct yourself, what not to do, and things like that. What's private, what's not. And then our rental agreement, and these are all located here. So it's a zip file you can download, and you can see all the contracts, and you can sign them ahead of time if you like, but generally I have them printed up and waiting for you when you arrive, and you just sign them when you get here. um, then we have the calendar of events, and this is how you can see at any time. You can check it to see what our times are like, when we're available, and so on. Like I say, it's a slow internet connection, and right now I'm actually having some internet problems, so this is a little worse than usual. But here shows reserved places and maintenance reserved or whatever. Anytime you can't come out are marked. Anything that's open, it's free game. You can call us up and reserve those dates. So when you do want to reserve, you look at the rates. Packages I'll go into later. We haven't been using many packages. There hasn't been much interest in them, so we haven't done anything like that for too many guests. There's the contracts. Reserve now is where you go when you want to sign up on our website, as opposed to through Verbo or through other services like Airbnb. And this is a simple form. It pre-populates it with some things you might have in your browser. You just update these. This is my browser, and I'm lifewaterranch@gmail.com. So, and that's my name, and that's what it did. But you can give us a referral number, a referral person, which gives you a discount. We also have an affiliate program we're going to start up. I don't have it encoded yet, but people can actually make money by bringing people to Lifewater Ranch, doing nothing but getting them to sign up and fill out a code in here. Contact information, so I can get a hold of you if I need to. Oh, we got the emergency happening here, or we're having this event and it's crossing your dates and we'll have to cancel or move it or whatever. And so I can give you an idea how big your party is, number of children, and then how you want to rent, which options you want, any questions or anything. You could just fill this out and ask questions here, and hit submit. It will email all this to me, and then I can get back to you via email or by phone. And then we'll communicate a little bit, get things clear. I'll put you on the calendar as tentative, and then you can send your $200 in, and then you get updated to reserved, and you're locked in, and then you can come whenever you want. And so here's a link to PayPal to pay, and my email address, and our physical address, which is difficult to locate on Bing or Google. Here's our cancellation policy. So you're going to lose your $200 lock-in, but otherwise you can cancel, I think, within 2 weeks without any problem. Or you can reschedule. We had a guest who had to cancel, who had to reschedule. They couldn't. Something came up and they couldn't come the day they had requested. We rescheduled, no problem. And then they ended up canceling, and which was kind of a. Usually, if you're within 2 weeks, you can't cancel. You can't get any refund. But they had paid their rent ahead of time, and so I gave them back their rent and just kept the $200 deposit. We have a referral program, and this is we haven't anybody used this yet, but it's a good deal. I mean, you come and visit, and you tell a friend about it, and then they make a booking and they refer to you, and then what happens is you each get a 5% discount. So the person that was referred gets a 5% discount the next time they stay, and the person that referred, when they stay, they get a 5%. And the person that referred them, next time they stay, they get 5% off. And if they refer 20 people, they get to come for a week, up to a week, free. So, because they've earned it, because they brought people in. We may change that to actually pay them 5% of the rate we get. That's how our affiliate program is going to work, where you actually make money getting someone to book here. They, of course, actually have to stay here, and you wouldn't get paid till after they leave. But that's how our referral program works, and our affiliate program will fit into there as well. We have a blog here with just when something happens or an interesting aspect of the ranch that I want people to know about, I just add a blog entry. So we had a girl here assessing the ranch from the Wolf group. This is my digital music workstation, which is something I've allowed guests to use, but it's so complicated most guests don't use it because it uses a synthesizer and a computer and a sequencer, and it's only musicians that are technical would probably be able to use this very effectively. But I have what's known as Omnisphere, a very probably the most powerful virtual synthesizer in the world on this computer, and you can make almost any sound you want and do all kinds of amazing music on here. And I do have my own titles available through on oh, where is it, on SoundCloud. So I have a SoundCloud link here to my songs that I have, and I think they're pretty cool. But they're just fun things I've done. We have posted guest reviews. Now we don't have a ton here. A lot of guests just don't bother to give a review, but we have almost had almost completely 5-star reviews from people. I took a video of one family here right after they stayed to give people more of a video review, but we've had people stay here and loved it, and generally everybody here are like, I can't believe how cheap it is, I can't believe how good it is. Most people are very happy. A couple we had complaining about flies. This in the springtime, sometimes there are these weeks when the flies come out or they lay eggs in the house, and we don't bomb the house. I don't believe in that. I don't want chemicals in the house. I want it to be organically clean for people. And so we might have a week in the year when flies are just everywhere and you're just swatting them all day. And this particular guest stayed one of those times, and they weren't very happy with that. And some are real picky about dust here and there, and we try to keep the place pretty clean, but I wouldn't say it's white glove inspection level, but we try to keep it pretty clean. You can submit a guest review, anybody can that stayed here, and then I will propagate them to this page so that people can see everybody's opinion. I want to be as open as I can. The NHLSC is the Natural Heating Logistics Support Center. So this was the original vision for my ranch, and I want to convey that with this video, is that my mother died of cancer. I have been in '85, and I have been studying alternative treatments and such ever since. And I can't say that I can cure anything, but I have a lot of tools here. We have a lot of information. We have a top-of-the-line juicer. We have an ozone machine. We have low chemical exposure, really good water, really good air, low stress atmosphere. You can use the tub and the hot tub in the pool as a kind of a hydrotherapy, hot and cold, especially in the spring or the fall when the pool can get quite cold, or the winter. The winter you can go crazy with that. You could jump and freeze yourself and then bake yourself, and that's supposed to wake up your mitochondria and do all kinds of good things. So my vision was to get someone here who's stressed out, or they got diabetes or cancer and they don't know what they're going to do, and they're scared to death, and they got 3 months to live, and they come out here and they stay for a month, and we cook them good organic food, and we take care of them. We give them a relaxing time. We let them use the ozone machine and the Vibe machine and juicing and whatever we can do to support you. And it would be spendy. I mean, I think there would probably be an extra, at least $100 a day extra, but maybe more like 1,000 in some cases, because it's just the logistics. We would hire people to give you full-time care. I mean, even if you're wheelchair bound and you have serious problems that we have to deal with, and you can bring your own doctor. You can do anything you want. It's your place to do what you want. We don't dictate how you take care of yourself, but we just want to be there to support you. Having gone through my mom's slow death of lung cancer was a nightmare, and I never want to live through that again without help. And so that is my heart, is to help anyone in that situation. If you're stressed out, or you're on 20 drugs and you don't know how to get off of them or whatever, come out here. We have local people that can help, but we have lots of education, and we will do everything we can to help you at least enjoy your stay, if not help heal you or change your lifestyle to get yourself healthy again. Um, we got pictures. Our location is, I put up a map here because it's rather hard to find. Um, this is kind of an aerial shot of how you come into the roads. Currently we have a landslide right here, so you can't come up this way. That should be fixed in a few months, I hope. Um, and there's a link here to Google Maps site so you can find the place. It's hard to get here the first time. There's a lot of different roads. There's ways to go wrong. But once you find it, and it's not that hard, once you find it, it's easy to find. It's only 15 minutes from the nearest town, so it's not hard to go downtown and get some groceries or whatever. Um, Visiting staff is where we I'm trying to set up regular people to be chefs and whatever, support people. Um, the vision, of course, is to bring money in from places like Seattle and California that have the money. People come in and can afford those things, and then that money helps to employ local people. The Idaho County area here where we are is one of the poorest counties in Idaho, and it's full of a lot of people that like it that way. They are here to escape the world. They don't want to see anybody, and they're toting their guns and their gold and the interesting people. We don't live in an affluent area, and that's kind of interesting. If I lived in the McCall area, for instance, which has billionaires living all over the place, you would see things would be different. I mean, there'd be a lot more affluent people here, and probably a lot more money in taxes. Here it's cheap to live. I like this area because I can live very cheap here, and I can pass those savings on to my customers and not be charging a ridiculous fee and still live well. So this is a couple of friends of mine. The wife is an excellent cook, and she plays harp, and he's a guitarist, and they actually, if they have the time at the right season, they might even come and play for you. And we have a herbalist that I can get here to do herbal talks. And there's various fees. So you pretty much want to ask about doing those kind of things ahead of time. Give me, maybe even a month of preparation time to get things lined up for you. If you need an outfitter, if you need a consultant for something, or cooking staff, or house cleaning, or whatever, just give me a call and we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. And that's about it for the website. Now the ranch, the ways you can use the ranch is family reunions. I think is one of the best things because we sleep 9 people with beds, plus we have extra, mattresses and stuff on the floor. We got couches, and you could probably sleep 20 people here comfortably, depending on how flexible they are. And we have had groups that big here. And they're all in this nice air-conditioned house, very comfortable home. And so family reunions have happened here. Family vacations are great. Take your kid, go fishing at the pond, go on the swing, take hikes with a family, play in the pool. It's great, for families because the kids can go swim in the pool and mom and dad can kick back and relax in the house if they want to, and the teenagers can go play on the swing and run around the ponds and the property, and and everybody can have a lot of fun, and you get these great memories that I think are so valuable in a family. And then we've got, you could use corporate retreats. This is an excellent place, I think, for a small corporate retreat. You have a couple executives and maybe a half dozen or a dozen people, or you're trying to, train people for a weekend, or, you can do your PowerPoints and stuff on our big flat screen. You can do presentations here pretty well and have meetings, and then you're in a remote location. If it's a secret powwow of how you're going to do your business strategy against your competition next year, it's a nice remote place to go to do a corporate retreat. And then you got active events. We got like the frisbee golf course. We got hiking. We got mudding. You could do mountain biking. You could do obstacle courses. You could do zip lines when we get them built up. Pond swims. Races. All kinds of crazy active things. And that's why Ben Greenfield was checking this place out. And hopefully he'll come back and we'll do a few events with him. He does mudding and other extreme sport type stuff. Um, and then, of course, our health retreats, as I talked about. We have a ozone machine, medical grade. We have juicing. We have a very low stress environment. I mean, it's quiet here. No sirens. Occasional logging truck maybe in the summertime, but you can go outside and sit in the pool or whatever, and it is just you and your heartbeat and the wind. It is very, very peaceful. Now we have chickens. They're making noise now. Chickens are kind of cutting that beautiful atmosphere, but you can go hiking up and go to the top part of the property. There's no domestic animals. There's nothing. It's just quiet. We do have predators on the property occasionally, so you do got to be aware of that. We have cougars and bears and things like that, but we've never had a problem with them. I advise people to bring a gun or a walkie-talkie and don't go hiking alone. But at the same time, I have never seen one. I've had a wolf actually eat my dog, but we had a pack come through. But only in those rare times in the fall would we have those kind of dangers. Typically, it's pretty safe here. Even though we do have bear and cougar, they don't bother people generally. And another way to use this retreat, this place, is as a secure retreat. Let's say you're a fairly famous individual. You live in LA and you're looking to have a week off and get away from everything. You can fly privately into Grangeville Airport. We can meet you at the airport. We can have you leave your cell phone on the plane, or take the battery out or something. And you can come here. We can hire security to stay at the gates and watch for you, and you can have a secure retreat where nobody's going to find you. Just this place is just out there, and you just email me discreetly. We'll talk about it, set it up, and we will do a secure retreat for you. And we've had anniversaries and weddings here. We've had just bikers come through and stay for a day. You can also rent just a room. I think maybe I took that down from the rates. But if you're just driving through and you want to stay at Lifewater Ranch for a night, and you're just one person maybe or two people on the road, and you don't rent the whole house, you stay with me, you get the discounts, and it's a little B&B, and it could be an inexpensive stop. You can enjoy the hot tub and get back on the bike and take off. So it's good for that too. So in conclusion, this is kind of a long video, but I hope it gives you an idea of the kind of features we have here. And of course, go to our contact page and give me a call or send me an email and ask me any questions you might have. It's hard to describe this place because it is 160 acres. It's got a lot of variety to it. It's an outstandingly unique place, and I'm hoping that it's something that families will want to enjoy and come back multiple times and just really relax for a very fair price. So thanks for listening. Hope this was helpful to you.